Wine, the feared Mafia queen known for her ruthless efficiency, paced in front of the mirror in her lavish bedroom. Her usual attire of leather jackets, strapped, no nonsense look was abandoned for this delicate floral dress she had never thought she would wear. Tonight she wasn't the queen ruling the underworld with an iron fist. She was a menace who wanted him at any cost, and the sheer ridiculousness of it made her cringe. But this was for him. Her Taehyung. What's the next move, master? Choi spoke in his usual tone, dripping with respect for her, while standing behind her, with his gaze fixed on the floor. But her next words made him look at her with a glint of shock in his expressions. Make him fall for me. Love was a weakness she used to scoff at, but look at her now, chasing a feeling she had sworn to bury. Each moment without him felt like a wound, and she was determined to possess him, body and soul, even if it meant unleashing chaos to make him hers. Finally looked at Wine, who still had the aura of danger, but now it was wrapped in pastel fabric, making the whole image unsettling. Like this? After uttering the words, he realized his mistake quickly and lowered his gaze once again when she shot him a glare that could have frozen lava. I heard he likes sweet, innocent girls, the kind who wore dresses and giggle at jokes. What a joke, she thought, but still, here she was. After gathering every bit of his courage, Choi dared to ask the daring question that could cost him his life if he hasn't practically raised Wine. Master, I apologize for asking, but do you love him this much that you are ready to change yourself? Asked cautiously. A dark, low chuckle erupted out of her lips and became a source of shivers for Choi. I don't love him. I just want him to belong to me. From diamonds to I'm used to possess every beautiful thing. Then why not him? Spoke with an eerie calm as she played with in her hand. Choi wiped the sweat of fear from his forehead with his handkerchief after saying yes, master, to her dark statement. Even a cold man like Choi was having pity on Taehyung's situation right now, as he knew the upcoming events won't be too merciful for the poor boy. Be frank, Choi. Tell me how I'm looking. Turned around and asked Choi as if she was interrogating him. Looked at her but looked down again as he could not maintain eye contact with her. Master, do I have to repeat myself? No, master. You are looking. He couldn't find the right words. I think you might actually scare him more like this. In the end, he chose to speak facts at the face of, and that's why he's Wine's right hand. Getting impressed by his honesty, Wine grinned wickedly, adjusting the dress as if she were strapping a weapon. Good. Fear and desire are closely related. At the Seal Soul brand event, backstage in the dressing room, Taehyung's POV. Currently, I am getting ready to present myself on the stage as the brand ambassador of Seal Soul. There would be a lot of fans and some rich people who are sponsoring this event. I've never felt this feared feeling creeping up my neck as I'm feeling right now. I'm randomly getting chills and bad vibes as if something bad is going to happen again. And why wouldn't I feel this way when I know that she can appear out of nowhere at any moment? I'm really scared of her. She's a real psycho, and I can just pray that I never have to see her again. And for that I have made a plan already. After this event, I'm going to leave Korea for a while. I'll be going to Hawaii secretly, and will shoot my next music video in the meantime. I can just hope that she gets tired of me in my absence and my life will return to normal. What are you thinking? Huh? Snapped his head towards him as he jolted out of his thoughts. Nothing, Hyung. When is the flight? 2 hours after the event is over. Why? Nothing. Shook his head, yet he was feeling the anxiety taking over him without any reason. On stage, ladies and gentlemen, we are thrilled to have you here for the incredible event organized by Seoul Soul. Now it's time to introduce someone very special, our brand ambassador. We welcome the rising star of our event, the heartbeats of many, the one and only Kim Taehyung, announced excitedly. The crowd erupted into applause as Taehyung stepped on the stage, flashing his signature boxy smile and waving at the audience. He looked dashing in a tailored suit, embodying confidence and style. However, as he reached the mid of the stage and ran his glance over the audience, a specific face caught his attention. Mafia Queen, Gang sitting at the VIP table as if she ran everything here and can ruin it in seconds too. Taehyung's breath hissed as he caught something different about her. Her dressing. It looked all too girly for someone like her who carries a "I can snap your neck without breaking a sweat" vibe. Her smile looked sweet, yet more unsettling as it wasn't reaching her eyes. Having a look at her, anyone could guess that she was up to no good. Taehyung's confident demeanor flattered for a moment. His hands trembled as he held the mic for support and tried to say a few words for his fans, as he did not want to disappoint them. Noticed Taehyung's hesitation and tried to encourage him. Come on, Taehyung, let's hear a few words from you about this amazing collaboration. Taehyung's eyes darted nervously towards the Mafia Queen, who leaned forward, her intense gaze piercing him. Trying to act professional and maintain his composure. Thank you, everyone. I'm really excited to be here and represent Seoul Soul. It's a privilege to be a part of such a passionate team. He paused as his heart raced because Brian's sweetly dangerous smirk deepened. He swallowed hard, feeling the weight of her obsession pressing down on him. Forced a smile, but his voice trembled slightly. I believe in the vision of this brand and its commitment to excellence. Together, we can achieve amazing things. The crowd cheered, but Taehyung was deaf to hear the encouragement. His focus was fixed on his predator before him. Thank you, Taehyung. Let's give him another round of applause. Audience cheered once again as Taehyung thanked and moved to sit on the sofa arranged for him on the stage. Now let's dive into tonight's activities, but first, let's take a moment to appreciate the hard work of everyone involved. As the host continued, Taehyung discreetly wiped his brow and took secret glances at Ryan, whose focus was only him.